What's up, guys? Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I already explained my background in the last video, so please let's just move on from this. I'm trying. So today I thought we would do a little get ready with me, and I'm going to talk about what my plans are for 2025 since it is the new year. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I'm going to put my hair back because I look really ridiculous right now. So if you saw the thumbnail, you will see that I am trying to do a 2025 low buy. I have spent the last kind of 3 years, I think, no, this is my third year. I've spent the last 2 years on YouTube kind of being this, oh, I buy lots of stuff and here is what I think about it. But I'm trying to just shift my personal life kind of in a different direction for this year. And that's gonna kind of change some things of what I'm talking about on this platform. I will admit I did, during the Black Friday sales, I did buy a lot of stuff because I wanted to get everything that I was going to need in the year. So I did kind of splurge on a lot of things during the Black Friday sales. And I know not everything that I bought is going to last me throughout the year because I already ran out of my Merit eyebrow pencil, but luckily I had just picked one up on the Black Friday sale. So I'm pretty sure that I am going to be repurchasing something like that. So those necessity items that I already know that I like and everything, I am going to be repurchasing throughout the year. But I really want to concentrate on the makeup collection and just stuff that I have in general, clothing, skincare, all that kind of stuff. I just want to kind of focus on using what I have because I do have a lot and I don't really have the need to buy anything else just to buy it because I am fascinated by it or I'm charmed by it. So I just want to really focus on using up some of the things that I already have. And that's not to say that I won't be charmed by something enough that I want to try it, but every purchase that I make is going to be carefully selected and researched, and I just want to make sure that I'm spending money on things that I like and that are worthy and that I'm not going to end up decluttering or tossing or donating or anything like that. So I'm just going to be more conscious of the things that I'm buying moving forward. I'll be honest, a lot of this happened when I was when I redid the closet. You guys know I redid my closet this year, and I was just when you actually purge something like that, a collection that you have been collecting over the years, I was kind of really disgusted with myself. I was kind of oh my God, I had so many bags and boxes of clothes that I was getting rid of, and it literally kind of made me sick. And the reason that it kind of made me sick is we had been kind of researching and watching some documentaries about what happens to the things that we buy because we live in a really, really highly saturated commercial world right now. Everyone knows you're constantly getting bombarded with ads for things. They have you nailed down to a science of what you want, what you would spend your money on. And it is just it is almost frightening, how much somebody you have no idea about knows about you just based on where you live, your demographic, what you watch on social media, what you watch on television. It is, when you really get into a rabbit hole of it, it's actually really freaking scary. And so in some of those documentaries, they did deep dives into how the clothing industry gets you to buy new styles, and they do timelines on how often new styles are coming out to get buyers to buy more stuff. But it was deep diving into what actually happens with all of those clothes that you discard. And that's why when I cleaned out my closet, I was actually almost physically ill. I was really affected by it because I've seen some of this information and I'm oh my God, I cannot believe that I am contributing to this. So a lot of it is, they're oh, you buy a shirt for $10 and In somebody's mind, they're like, oh, a $10 shirt, that's awesome, because if I wear it 10 times, it's $1 a day, which is like a really decent return for a piece of clothing. And then they just toss it and it's no big deal because they can just buy another $10 shirt. Well, when that's happening on the global scale that it is happening, there is a lot of material waste. And a lot of that material is very cheap. We know this. This is how you get a $10 shirt, because it's made from basically like plastic, like these polyester blends, basically microplastics that are, I'm really not trying to like get on a soapbox and like talk about this stuff, but it really does affect me. Anyway, they showed like these cargo ships of like just flattened, like, when you put clothes in like a travel bag and you vacuum it and you like sink it down like and get it like really, really small. They had these cargo ships like just full of pallets of clothes from the US and Europe that you guys can't even imagine how many clothes. Like, you cannot imagine. Like, imagine all the clothes you're buying on Temu. You wear it once or you don't wear it at all, and then you toss it. You either donate it or throw it in the trash or whatever. All that stuff eventually gets put in a big pile, sucked down into a thing, and then put in those humongous shipping crates, and then they're sent overseas to like Ghana, and then they're just dumped, and we expect them to just do something with it. And if you guys, you could see what it's like over there with all of our clothes. I mean, it is insane. Like, they showed these people on this like streets covered in clothes. Like, they don't even know what to do with it. There's no room. It's in the ocean. Oceans of clothes, beaches, people walking over piles and piles of clothes. Like, and they're showing the tags, like Forever 21, H&M, like all this stuff. And you're like, oh yeah, I buy from there. And it's like, guys, it's seriously, it's really disturbing.
Into a toxic landfill.
This place is serving as a dumping ground for textile waste in the name of secondhand clothing.
So Hubs and I are trying to make like a conscious effort in the things that we buy. And that goes with not only clothing, but that goes with like a lot of things. We've done like a couple things in the house that we're trying to like be a little bit more mindful and sustainable. Like, for instance, we eat those little sugar-free puddings and jellos that come in those like little plastic cups, like just the little tear-off snack pack plastic cups or whatever. That's like our treat at the end of the day while we're watching TV. Well, those things are not recyclable. And if you want me to get into the recycling thing, let's not even go there, because it's like 90% of the stuff that we take to the recycling bin isn't even recyclable. I saw a documentary on where they went into the, recycling centers, and they have the people that have to sort it out on the conveyor belts. And there's like all these things that we just toss into a recycling bin thinking, hey, it's paper, we can do that. And then they're just pulling them off, and then they end up going into the landfill. It's really disgusting. So instead of buying those little like plastic Jello containers, we are making our own and putting them in little glass like cups, glass cups that we can rewash and reuse and like all that type of stuff. Another thing that we're doing is we are no longer going to be buying laundry detergent in the big plastic jugs. We switched to those little sheets. They're actually like sheets made of laundry detergent, and they come in just a cardboard envelope that you can recycle. It takes up a lot less room in the laundry room. And I don't have this humongo Costco jug of plastic that is just going to end up nowhere at the end of the day. So those are like kind of the things that like we're doing to try and just, I don't even want to get into it, because you can get into industry and plants and all that kind of stuff. And this is how I look at it. If I use a plastic utensil, like a plastic fork or spoon at lunch, and I toss that into the trash can, I'm putting that plastic into the ocean or a landfill or something, because it's not recyclable. So it's just going to get tossed into wherever all of our trash goes. And then I started to think, I'm like, okay, there's about, 100 people in my building. So if everybody used one plastic fork a day and toss it into a trash can, that's 100 forks just from my building a day. Then I started to think, okay, let's think about like an Amazon plant or a Ford manufacturing plant. How many of those people are using plastic utensils and then tossing them into the trash can? And then it just starts, like, I start to get overwhelmed by it. I'm like, oh my God, like there's just, like, my little plastic fork is just literally like spit in the ocean, but like it's such like a bigger thing. And like, honestly, we're not, like, I say we, industry is not really doing much to try and correct that. And that also makes me very sad. I don't really want this video to like come off like political or anything, or sounding like, oh my gosh, like this is the stuff that I don't want to hear about, but this is stuff that within 2024, like I have been thinking about like heavily, like it's really weighing on me like a lot. I will link some of the, or I don't know if I can link them, but I'll put the titles of some of these documentaries in my description box if you are interested. The clothing one that I watched, there's like a brand called like, I don't know, it's like Madison something. The title was called like Madison Hellville or something like that. And that went through like the whole thing of like where our clothes go. And if you just want like a realistic watch of like what is happening with the fast fashion that you're buying on Shein and all that, that's a really good watch. We also watched another one of like how people are targeted by consumerism, and I'll link that one down too. But there are a ton of informational documentaries out there. Of course, you know, any documentary is going to be like slightly skewed, and that's to be expected. But this is like real life stuff that's like happening. And I know we're like all just trying to turn a blind eye to it because, listen, we're all shuffling off this mortal coil. We want the things that are distracting us to know that we're going to die, and nobody knows what happens after that. And, you know, sometimes stuff is something that we like to distract ourselves with. I certainly do. My husband and I love things, but we are just trying to make a conscious effort into possibly trying to make smarter decisions on the things that we do consume. Not that we don't want to be part of the game or anything. It's not like that, but it's just like trying to make ourselves feel a little bit better, especially like my husband being like such a plant earth guy. He has like a lot of statistics on like what is happening with the atmosphere and like the plants and like all that kind of stuff. And it's just, you know, it's very affecting when you actually know what's going on, but they purposely don't tell us these things because they want us to spend more. So in my counteract, I am going to try and spend less this year and focus more on things that like I really want to buy and things that I want to bring into my home that are going to be long lasting and things like that. So my channel may change a little bit. Some of that money that I'm going to be saving, I'm going to be doing some more house renovations. We are currently working on the bedroom right now, which is kind of why I haven't been able to post a lot. And obviously you see, I had to change the office around a little bit because we needed to fit some stuff. We have so much stuff. Again, when you want to realize how much stuff you have, just, you know, reorganize or clean out something, and then you'll feel kind of like, I always feel like I'm that, you know, the movie Labyrinth. I know most of you, it's my favorite movie. There is that collector lady.
And see if there's anything else you'd like.
That comes when Sarah is like under the spell of the poison apple, and she goes into her bedroom and the collector lady follows her, and she's like, oh, don't you want this pencil box? Don't you want this teddy bear? Look, you love your teddy bear. And she starts like packing it on her back, and then she's just like this old woman like walking around with like a bunch of junk. Like you're looking at it and it's like it's junk.
Oh, it's little horsey. You love little horsey, don't you, dear? And look at this. You got a printing game.
And Sarah realizes it's all junk. It doesn't really mean anything. That's kind of like what I feel like when I'm cleaning out my spaces. And I don't want to be the junk lady. I don't. I really do not want to be the junk lady. I want to have things that are very important to me and things that I love. And, you know, what the heck is that lady's name that was popular like forever ago? But I want things to like bring me joy. And if it's been sitting in a closet or in a box or in a drawer for years and I don't even look at it anymore, is that really bringing me joy? I want to try and get more towards the, oh, you don't have so much stuff. Like, I just don't want so much stuff. Hey, I'm popping in here after the look is done, so you're already seeing it. But I wanted to mention one of the first things I did in the first day of 2025 is I deleted the Temu app. So I do not have the Temu app on my phone anymore. I am not going to be buying from Temu in 2025. So sorry if you enjoyed the Temu videos, but I am not going to be doing those anymore. That's kind of where I'm at as far as 2025 goals. Believe me, if a company wants to send me something, I will review it on here, but it's got to be, and I've said this before, it's got to be something that like I'm into, because I've had so many companies reach out to me. Like the other day, I got an email from this company called E-Bike. I'm like, E-Bike? They wanted to send me a motorized fat tire bicycle to make a YouTube video on. So I go to their website. I'm like, what the heck is this? I go to their website and it's literally like, it's like a bike. It's a bicycle with 2 fat tires, little basket on the back, and it's motorized. So you pedal it, but it also has like, you know, these things were like $1,300 and they wanted to send me one. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I do not have any use for an electronic bicycle. That is a pretty penny to get for free, and possibly could donate it to like a children's shelter or something for like less fortunate kids or something like that. But I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. Don't want to bring it into my house. Don't want the company to manufacture another one just so that I can make a YouTube video on it. I just, you know, I have to say no. Like, there's no reason why I should have an electronic bicycle. And why somebody wants to send me a $1,300 electronic bicycle for me to review on YouTube is beyond me. That's telling me they have too many of them and they need to sell them. And that in itself is making me sick, because like, why is there another company making a whole bunch of things that nobody wants and then it's just going to end up in the trash somewhere? Oh, that was kind of heavy. I know. I'm sorry. These are just the things that I've been thinking of as of late, and I'm really trying to just like find my place and like where my heart is in a whole bunch of things. Even just sitting in this office, even though we cleaned out a lot of stuff, we have a lot of things and I just don't feel like I need more stuff. So all the money that I'm hopefully not going to be spending is going to be going towards either home improvements or into savings to make a travel fund. I really do want to like go to Greece at some point here in the next couple of years. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with some of these things, and if you want to leave my channel, because I'm not going to be, you know, consuming so much stuff. I'm not saying that I'm not going to consume anything, but my content is going to be a little bit more personal, I think, moving forward. And you probably saw me change my intro and all of that already. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. This is my final look. I'm going to record another video that you guys already saw. I am going to link the documentaries that I spoke about or any information that I find useful in the description box. And if you could comment and let me know how you feel about fast fashion or consuming too much makeup or anything like that. I would love to hear it. If you are pro sustainability or I don't care, I'm just trying to live my life, like I would love to hear like all of the different, and have everybody read about all of the different views. So yeah, and if you could subscribe, that would be cool. I really appreciate you guys being here. I will see you on the next one.